Hey guys, this is a quick look at the braiding pattern that I have for my client, and let me just throw a few things out there at you guys before we get started. We know that the closure is a bit bronzy. It was over processed, it was over bleached. We tried color corrector. We also tried, a number of things to get it back right, but it just would not snap back. She'll be purchasing a new closure soon, so it's okay. We're okay with that. She'll go home and put concealer on it and the closure will match up fine, so you guys don't have to point that out. We already know that. Also, this is not the only way to do a sew-in or a lace closure or any of that. So I don't think that this is the only way, nor is it the best way. So if you have a better way, please do what's best for you. I'm just showing you guys how I do it. Also, please keep the negative comments to yourself. I will not I will not respond to those, nor will I probably will just delete you. If you have something negative to say, I'm open to constructive criticism. That's fine. So if you have a suggestion or something please feel free to give me those suggestions. So what I'm doing is I started with the first track and I doubled these tracks over. So I folded this complete bundle in half and then I'm going to proceed to sew it. I'm also going to double it, fold it on the edges. So that's going to be a very thick fold. I would only do this in the back. I would never do it in the front because it's going to be hard to get that fold to lay flat. So I pretty much just fold it over, reinforce it about 3 times, and keep sewing. I sew in a downward motion. I do not sew through the wefts, so around them. And that is pretty much how this goes. I just go back and forth until I'm done with that entire track. And then continue to fold it until it's all used up. I put a little bit more space in the back because I am doubling the weft, so I can space it out a little bit more. But I like to double it so that I can get all 3 bundles and the closure, or as much of it as I can, in there. So I am using a curved needle now. Some of you may notice. And yeah, I just keep going back and forth until that complete bundle is used up. And then I will start with the next bundle shortly after that. On the edge, at the very end, I always, reinforce that about 3 times too, so you don't have to worry about the hair coming loose on the corners or on the edge of that track. Okay, so nothing really fancy here, just proceeding to continue to sew that second bundle in. And I'm pretty much going to start it where I left off with the first bundle and keep sewing, making sure that the edges are very, very flat. When I get started, I usually do about 10 needles. I thread about 10 needles so that I don't have to stop and waste time to thread my needles, and that just saves me a little bit of time. I would advise you not to be on the phone when you're doing a client's hair because it slows you down. But I get the shop calls on my phone, my cell phone. So, and this is my friend that I'm doing, so she doesn't mind me talking on the phone. And then I'm just going to continue to fold it and keep sewing. The sewing method that I use now, I can do a regular sew-in with leave out in about 45 minutes to an hour. And so that's why I like this technique and the way that I sew. Again, we're on that corner and we're folding that over. Fold over method is great if you're going to have hair that you're going to reuse, virgin hair that you don't really want to throw away, and you want it to be in one piece when you get ready to get it reinstalled. So the fold over method is great for that. Anytime it's going to be hair that's not going to be reused, we just simply cut the tracks. There's no need in, wasting that time to fold it over. So So now we are on the second bundle of hair, and I'm actually singling this track, so I don't have the tracks folded in half. I'm doing it, I'm doing single tracking right now. And I'm still folding on the corners. And I'm gonna leave that area out to install the closure. So now that I have enough room to install the closure, I'm just gonna kind of line it up, and sew on the corner of it, making sure that the knot catches. And I'm going to, stretch it as much as I can without overstretching it, and start to sew on one side. Then I'm sorry it's a little bit out of focus here, but I'm going to move to the other side and do the same thing, starting from the front corner and sewing on the edge of the closure to the braid all the way around. You never want to sew from one side around to the other side, because your closure will shift and get out of place. So I'm just going to keep going on that side until I kind of get to the middle, and I'm going to meet the other needle. Yes, I use 2 separate needles for this. So once I get around to this side, I'm pretty much done with sewing the back end of the closure, and I'm just going to tie those together, tie the thread together. Once I'm done, then I'm going to just kind of comb that closure out a little bit, still a little stiff from the color, and I'm going to sew. Now, her closure, she's had it for a while, so I kind of picked up this method after we cut all of the lace off, but I would suggest not cutting the lace completely off in the front. Leave just a little bit to sew through, so that you don't have to sew through the through the actual lace. So I'm going to sew the front of her closure down to that front anchor braid on both sides. This will not work if you're going to wear it in multiple styles, like if you're going to part it on the side sometimes and in the middle sometimes. This is not going to work. You're going to have to secure it just on the edges or the corners if you want to be able to move your part around. But she's going to wear a middle part for the duration of this install, so it's not going to matter. That's never going to show. Okay, so now that that's out the way, I'm going to go ahead and install her last bundle of hair. I dyed it to match her closure, so she can have some color at the top. And I'm just pretty much going to fill in that space, fill in the space that's open around the closure, and still folding on the edges. Again, I do not sew through the weft, I sew around the weft, and when I get ready to fold it, I still sew around the weft, just securing it on the edge. Alright, so now that I have all of it installed, I'm going to go ahead and mold this down using some foam wrap. You can use any kind. I don't have a particular kind, and I also will spray a little bit of spritz on there after that and put some duck clips to get that molded down. Normally, if I have a fresh closure out of the pack, I will do this on a mannequin head beforehand and just let it dry like that after I bleach the knots. And that way you kind of get your closure to train a little quicker and easier. But hers is pretty much trained for the middle, so good. I went ahead and threw some curls in there. And now I'm just going to pretty much try to blend that the part that's over bleached. I'm gonna put a little bit of, it's called Gray Cover Up, on there, so that it's a little, just for the video purposes. Again, she's gonna go home and put her concealer on it to make it match up a lot better with her skin tone. And then I'm just gonna pretty much try to get this style to my liking. So just a lot of combing and putting in place, and then I'm gonna add a little bump to the top to give her a little bit of lift. And you can style, your style is however you would like to. You don't have to do it like this. This is just how I choose to do it. And that's pretty much it, guys. I'm going to show you a few pictures so that you can see a little bit more up close of how it looks. There you can kind of see the bronziness of the closure a little bit better, but it's not too bad. And I just kind of swoop her front hairs into the style. And that's pretty much it. Thanks for watching, guys.